So in 11.2, we're going to go over right triangle trigonometry. So the three ratios that you need to remember are sine, cosine, and tangent. And they will help you solve anything in a right triangle using the main three pieces. So in a right triangle, you have the hypotenuse, which is across from the 90. You have what's called your reference angle theta. We're just going to put it in the bottom left corner. Opposite would be straight across, and then adjacent would be just around the corner here. So each of the trig ratios have a pair of those pieces on the triangle. So sine is the ratio opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is the ratio adjacent over hypotenuse. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. Remember that with these, they have the three inverses that go with them. So we are going to be able to pair them with sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tangent inverse. I think in your phones, if you were to use your phone as a calculator, it might be arc sine or arc cosine or arc tangent. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at some solving. So you'll either be solving for a missing angle or a missing side. So let's scroll down here to the first problem. So in example 3, we are missing both angles and a side for one of each of these triangles. We're going to move example 4 down. Maybe. Nope, it just keeps jumping away. Okay, so example 3, let's go ahead. I like to label the triangle first with opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse to see what pieces they have for me, and that will tell us which one of the three trig ratios to use. So starting off, I always start with hypotenuse. That is this one across from the 90. We have our reference angle here, which makes this the opposite and this the adjacent. So the two pieces that I have are hypotenuse and adjacent. So that would be cosine at the top here, adjacent and hypotenuse. So cosine of our mystery angle theta equals 4 over 8. Because you're solving for a missing angle, in order to get to the theta, you have to use cosine inverse to cancel it out. So the first step is to take cosine inverse to both sides. So I'm going to put it in front of there and in front of there. So what happens is that the cosines will cancel each other out, leaving just your theta, and you will plug in cosine inverse of 4 divided by 8, which is 60 degrees. Okay, in our next question, number 2, they are asking for the value of a side. So in this case, we have our angle. I'm going to label the triangle first with hypotenuse here, opposite here, and adjacent on that side. So the two pieces that we have are opposite and hypotenuse. So if I scroll back to the top, that would be your sine ratio. So we're going to plug in the parts. This time I have an angle, sine of 30 equals 10.8 over x. Okay. So with this one, we can go ahead and cross multiply. So I'm going to put a 1 on the bottom, leaving 10.8 and x times sine 30. Last step, divide by sine 30. So x will be whatever 10.8 divided by sine 30 is, which is 21.6. X equals 21.6. And there we go. There is an example of how to solve an angle and how to solve for a missing side.